Tearing his clothes, the high priest said, "What further need do we have of witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. How does it seem to you?" And they all condemned him to be deserving of death. What did Jesus say? If Son of Man is just simply, well, that just means I'm a human being. If that's what it means, then why did they understand this as blasphemy? Because of the text that Jesus had just quoted of himself. He quoted from Psalm 110. There, Yahweh says to my Adonai, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool." This exalted being, Jesus was identifying as himself in the same way that he quotes from Daniel.
That Psalm 110:1 speaks of Yahweh giving an oracle to somebody who is Adonai. Now, if you listen to that passage that we've given you from Dr. White's statement here, you'll see that he absolutely just gets that wrong. He says that Jesus said, Psalm 110:1, Yahweh speaks to my Adonai. This is simply not what the text says, and any Jew reading that, anybody who can read Hebrew at the most elementary level can see that that is not what is said. There will be, I hope, howls of protest when somebody misstates what the Masoretic text reads there. The text, as we have it in all the Hebrew versions, is simply Yahweh speaks to Adonai, my Lord. Now we have to say, what is the meaning of my Lord? Adonai, not Adonai, much less my Adonai is wrong too. Simply the Lord, the Supreme Lord is Adonai. That's 449 times in the Bible, a reference to the Father, the title of Yahweh, which is the personal name. So Adonai, what does Adonai mean? That's what is critical here. And the answer is very clear. Adonai is non-deity Lord. As has been said in the New Testament, the word Lord can refer to the gardener. When Mary Magdalene met the gardener, speaks to him as Kyrios. It can refer then to the Lord Messiah, who was born in Luke 2:11. And it can refer, of course, very often to the Lord God, Kyrios also. So you have to be very careful with this word Lord. What is the meaning in the case of my Lord in Psalm 110:1? Open your Hebrew Bibles, and I hope you can read, or ask the rabbi if you can't, and look carefully at that second Lord. The word is the Adoni. There's a vowel, hirek, underneath the nun there, pronounced E. Not I, not Adonai. Absolutely not. That makes a huge difference. Only the difference in God and man, may I say. And so be very careful with your treatment of that second Lord. I'm reading now from the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia, which says the following on the point that I'm trying to make. They say the form Adonai, my Lord, a royal title, referring to 1 Samuel 29, verse 8, and many other passages. Adonai is to be carefully distinguished from the divine title Adonai, used of Yahweh. Carefully distinguished, I would think so. If you go to the Brown, Driver and Briggs Standard Dictionary of Hebrew, Lexicon of the Hebrew, Biblical Hebrew language, we have the same thing. Adonai and Adoni, the difference is very great, are variations of the Masoretic pointing to distinguish divine references from human. That distinction involves a vowel point, it is true, but it's in the Masoretic text, and of course they had that read aloud for centuries before they did the pointing. There's no question about the validity of that Masoretic text there. Nobody questions it. There are no exceptions and no variants in the manuscripts at all. So the word, the second Lord there in Psalm 110:1 is not Adonai, as stated by Dr. White. It's simply wrong. The word is Adoni, which is non-deity Lord. All 195 occurrences where this occurs, it refers very occasionally to an angel who is not God, as you know. And it refers otherwise to various human superiors, in this case the Messiah. So Jesus, as per Psalm 110:1, is the supreme human ruler. So supreme, so exalted, so super exalted, we might say, that he's been raised to sit at the very right hand of the Father. And God can do that if God chooses. So this idea that there's a second Lord God is simply false. We could refer, of course, also to the creed of Jesus and know also that their God is said to be one person. This is simply backed up entirely by Psalm 110:1, where Yahweh is still one single person. That's absolutely clear. Yahweh is not a triune Yahweh. There are not three Yahwehs. And of course it's totally illogical to say that Yahweh is the name of all three together, as well as being the name of each one individually. That's just illogical. No one can maintain with integrity that one X is equivalent to three X's. Unfortunately, Dr. White in his writings makes that mistake rather constantly. He doesn't hear himself make it, but he's right. You cannot have one X meaning three X's. One Yahweh cannot mean three altogether, and one of the three individuals individually as well. No need for any of this fuss if we would start with the Creed of Jesus, which declares, as all Jews know, that God is one single person. In fact, that's exactly what's said in Galatians 4:20, that God is one single person. He's Is. So, Kyrios or Theos imon, the Lord God is one person, is a perfectly valid translation of that phrase in Greek.